Pitt, Penn State. You're talking about football in Western Pennsylvania. And football means everything in Western Pennsylvania. Dan Marino, Tony Dorsett, Mike Ditka. What will be interesting for bookmakers in this game is the fact that Penn State came into the opening of the season, they played Appalachian State, a ton of hype. They're one of the more highly ranked teams. And then they play Appalachian State and they barely get out with a win. So how do bookmakers think about that when they're setting the point spread? What are they thinking about what Pitt did in its first week and how did they perform? What are they thinking the public is going to think about a Penn State team that barely beat Appalachian State? Power rating is a number that every bookmaker and every bettor comes up with to basically assess the value of each team when they are creating their own point spreads. There are no secret power ratings here. We have Vegas rankings that we put out every week. We put them out for college football and we put them out for the NFL. And it's basically our assessment of how teams should be ranked and how teams should be positioned based on the perception of what's happening in Vegas. You change your power rating week to week based on what you see a team did on offense, what you see a team did on defense. Did they perform better than expectations? How are the expectations going to change a power rating for any particular team? And that sort of morphs every single week as the season goes on. If you look at the natural power rating between Pitt and Penn State, according to Action Network, the difference is 12 points. Generally, if you're talking about what the value of home field advantage is, bookmakers give it about 3 points on average. Sometimes it's a little bit higher, sometimes it's a little bit lower. Every team's home field advantage is different. Penn State is playing at Pittsburgh at Heinz Field. You're playing in an NFL stadium. The atmosphere isn't as fun as when you're on a college campus. If a college football team travels well, it means that their fan base goes wherever they go. And they have tens of thousands of people who will buy those tickets and sit in those stands and cheer as loudly as if they were at their home field. Penn State, according to the Action Network, is power rated at an 83. Pitt is power rated at about a 71. So the power rating here and the spread, the delta between the two, is essentially the difference between that home field advantage. From a betting perspective, in the second week of the season, you're judging a lot of what happened in the first week of the season. And one of the box scores telling me about how this team is actually better or worse than what the final score showed.